Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks pregame show powered by ComEd. It's getting easier for your business to switch to electric vehicles. Learn more at comed.com/clean. I'm Jay Zawaski with Greg Boysen and Mario Tirabassi. Hawks and Greg's beloved New York Rangers coming up at 6 p.m.
The greatest arena in all of
history. Yeah. I was at MSG once.
I bet you didn't think it was as great as
I didn't think it was that great.
No, it's old.
And I have nothing against the Rangers. I'm very just indifferent about the Rangers.
It's a historical building.
Lots of cool stuff has happened
there.
And
all
the ceiling is
Stanley
cool.
Cups.
Yeah. I'll give them that. The ceiling is cool.
Yeah.
But overall, it was fine.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for the pregame show. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
I mean, that's. I feel like that's how I feel. That's how I felt many, many years ago, half a lifetime ago for me, when I went to Washington, D.C., and went to where Lincoln was shot. And I was just like, this theater is small and dunky, but he died right there. Interesting. Like that's how I would feel about Madison Square Garden. I'd go see it. Cool.
Yeah, I was happy to be there.
Yeah.
I think anytime something is as hyped as a building, it can never really live up to it.
And that's part of the reason I hate everything New York. Is because this building's in New York. It's got to be the greatest ever.
Yes.
Where if Madison Square Garden was in Chicago, people would be like, it's a dump. You'll get shot.
Probably.
Don't go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why part of my reason I hate everything New York is because everybody in New York, from New York, thinks they're the greatest.
Yeah.
And I disagree. You're not the greatest.
Well, the other thing, too, is we turned this into a bit bashing New York show, and who's against it?
Why not?
It's not like this could be much.
We went there. We did when I went to MSG. I was there with McNeil and Spiegel, so we did a couple shows from the Fan. I'm like, this was what, maybe 07. It was before like Wi-Fi was in every office and every space.
Yeah. I'm
like, oh, you guys got Wi-Fi? The guy's like, yeah, it's New York. I'm like, kiss my ass, dude. Like, where do you think I live?
That's great.
Am I in like Omaha? Right. Like, I live in Chicago, dude.
You got
like
that fancy internet?
Come on.
That's great.
Yeah, like for the least questioned metropolis in the world, New York, where like the whole world agrees, like, oh, it's the Mecca of the United States. They still have a Napoleon complex there. Like, they have to remind you how big and how strong they are.
Yeah.
We get it, dudes. Cool.
Yeah, I went in college. A girl I knew dated a guy from New York once during the summer, and we were hanging out at the beach one day, and he was like, yeah, this is kind of cool, but, in New York, we've got the ocean, not a lake. And I was like, you're never going to see that ocean again. You keep that up. Like,
or you're going to get real familiar with it.
Guess what? You can drown just as well in a lake as you can in an ocean, my friend.
Yeah, it was, there are a lot of tall buildings, a lot of people, and lots of garbage in the streets, and, it was New York.
That sounds like Chicago.
Anyway.
A lot of tall buildings,
Should
people,
we talk about the
garbage everywhere.
For a little bit, or no?
Do we have to?
No, let's let Luke Richardson do it.
Sure. Yeah, he does it better.
We're also going to hear from new Blackhawk Jacob Megna, who is a Chicago boy, and he talks a little bit about that. We're going to get to that later in the show, but let's hear from Luke ahead of Hawks and Rangers.
Peter's starting in net tonight for us, and we have Magna stepping in, and Crevier will be out tonight, and Reese Johnson will be back in up front.
Do you have a sense of Beauvillier's timeline?
No, but he's going to be out for a bit. I'm not sure how long yet, but it obviously was a tough break, because I actually thought, the last two games he really started playing and started finding his groove and skating well, which what he does best. So. Hopefully, it's the speediest recovery possible for him. But, we'll hopefully, when he does come back, at least he's got his feet wet, and he's in, and he knows what we do and how we play, and he seems to be starting to get comfortable with that.
What was it about Megna picking him up?
You know what? He's got some experience, right? And we big guy, another big rangy D seems to be what we're going for around here, right? And we just need a little bit more presence back there as with some experience. We've been running a lot all year, and the young guys have done great, but we got to make sure we're playing real experienced teams right now, heavy teams, so I think this will be a good addition here.
What was the message to Crevier?
Nothing. Like, I thought he had a pretty good game last game, but he's making strides, and this is great experience for him. But at this point, The other guy got a little bit more experience, and we just want to put him in here tonight against a really strong team.
Have you been in a team that's had so many injuries like this? Or do you remember any situations?
I don't know. I'd have to say no, because I'm trying to think. I'm mesmerized by our board right now. But you know what? I think what it is, even at the end of last year, with a trade deadline and a few injuries and the guys that had to get shut down, you just got to scramble a little bit. And sometimes you can just get the guys back on the game plan, just plain simple, by doing that, because you're with different partners or different pairings, or up front or on the back end, and you got to stick to the game plan. Like last game, I thought we did. We did a good job sticking to the game plan. We had no puck luck around the net, but we also got to create a little more puck luck by shooting pucks a little more, and a little more determination on our offensive chances. But I thought we played way more physical, way more desperate in the hard zones, and that's somewhere to start.
Have you seen improvement from Cini since the last time?
You know what?
Yeah,
and you know what? He just gives you what he has. Like he's an energy guy. He came up last year and played really well for us for a while. But he's a guy. He's not the biggest guy in the world. So after a while, that probably takes a toll on his body. And I think in the NHL, it's just a bigger, heavier league. And tonight will be a real big test. But he's got the speed, and he's got the hockey sense and smarts, where he uses his speed and gets in and out quick in a lot of plays. So it keeps him out of those head-on battles. So. We really liked what he did last game. He gave us a little speed. He got a penalty in the first period. I'm not sure how hard a penalty it was. Like, it wasn't really a hard call, but we have to kill those. And when we want our guys to be aggressive and play aggressive, just like Nick standing up for a teammate, we got to try and kill those penalties.
When a defenseman comes in, what do you tell them system-wise? What's sort of the pointers for his game?
Just like most of our young guys, like, just get used to moving pucks up quick, and if your first instinct's not there, then get it out off the glass or a flip to center ice. Let our forwards do some work. We got to stay out of defensive zone coverage, extended stays there. That's what's going to hurt us, and it will really hurt us tonight. So, with Magna and all our young guys, but even veteran guys, like they have to know that if your first play is not there, the second play is out, and that'll just learn to live to fight another day. That's the old saying, and that's what we got to live by right now.
Bedard hasn't had as many scoring chances on this trip so far, and have you thought about something to spice things up?
Yeah, no, I think he's got to just be like the rest of us. Teams are playing us aggressive right now because we are short staff, and they're trying to jump on us. So simple. Like, I think a couple times he could have took that puck in the first period to the net and instead of a lateral pass, and he's got that good shot. We got to get him to use that more, and that's not being selfish. That's just being a good team guy and taking what's given to you in front of you. So getting him, just like everybody else, to maybe shoot that puck a little more early in the game will back people off, and maybe there'll be a play there later.
I was going to say, does it seem like the team overall has kind of been taking shots instead of taking it to the net?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think the mentality of shooting first has got to be number one right now. I think even on that line rush, we had a really nice line rush. I thought Entwistle and Gutman and Reichel were really good in the first half of the game, but they didn't shoot the puck enough. I think Gutman took the puck to the net once, got a shot, almost went under his arm, and then I think Reichel took the option to pass backdoor. I think he's coming down the middle. He's got to shoot that puck. So, when your confidence is low, I think you don't want to take that shot because you're thinking it's not the right choice. I think it is. Whatever your first intention is or what you see is the right choice. And I think we got to live on those instincts.
That's Luke Richardson, seeing the same stuff you're seeing.
If your instinct is to shoot it.
Yes.
Simple.
If your instinct's to not shoot it anyway.
Yeah,
Yes.
you might as well.
Just shoot
It's
it.
not a bad idea to put the puck on net. Hockey 101.
Yeah. We've got lines for this one. We can start off left to right. You've got Ryan Donato, Connor Bedard, and Philip Kurashev, Nick Foligno, Jason Dickinson, Colin Blackwell, Reichel, Entwistle, and Gutman, and Boris Kachuk, Brett Cini, and Reese Johnson. Those are your 4 forward lines.
Those are 12 guys.
Those are 12 people.
That bottom 6 would be a great top 6 in Rockford.
Great.
Yeah.
I'd say average top 6 in Rockford.
For the AHL.
Yeah, maybe.
The AHL.
Your D pairs, also AHL worthy. Jared Tenorti and Connor Murphy, Alex Vlasic and New Hawk Jacob Megna, and Kevin Korchinski and Nikita Zaitsev with Peter Mrazek in goal.
Good luck,
I'm
Peter.
not surprised that they went with Mrazek. He is the starter. But I thought maybe there was a little bit of a shot that because Soderblom played so good in the last game, that maybe he would get a second start. Any surprise from you guys on that?
No, he'll play tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, this felt like the continuation of a little bit of the rotation there, especially after Mrazek had a tough
Had a
outing.
stinker.
Had a tough outing. So you get Soderblom in there, then he plays well. You get Mrazek in back to back. I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think you want to get Mrazek to get that last game out of his system as quickly as possible.
True.
He is the starter. And, again, back-to-backs. So Soderblom will definitely play tomorrow against the Devils. Pick your poison. Who do you want to play against, the Rangers or the Devils?
Which offense scares you more?
Go get him, kid, with Jared Tenorti on your top defensive pairing. Go get him.
I mean, the way they're playing right now, it's the Rangers. More dangerous offense.
Yeah, the Rangers, this one could get ugly. The Rangers got...
You can say that every night.
They really could.
Except when the Avalanche are in town or the first-place Jets. The Rangers got smacked around their last game by the Carolina Hurricanes 6-2. So they're probably going to look for a response. The Blackhawks are the official get-right team of the NHL.
Sure are.
Here's something else to keep in mind heading into the night. The New York Rangers are 9-1 following a loss.
And they got their dicks kicked in against Carolina at home.
Yes, it's not good. Yes.
That's a dick kicked in noise.
Yes,
That's it coming back out.
which will probably happen about 3 minutes into this game. Something else I saw, like a ridiculous stat about Artemi Panarin. I think he's got like 16 points in 6 games against the Blackhawks.
Really?
9-7 in just 6 games against the Blackhawks. I believe that's what that is.
I mean,
that's a guy that just
not shocked.
Loves killing his former team. Like, dude, why are you mad at us? We brought you over here.
Thanking us and
Yeah,
not
our
scoring
fault.
on us.
Yeah, we got rid of you just before things got really bad. You should be thankful.
In fairness, he likes scoring on everybody.
This
He's
is
got
true.
51 points in 36 games this year.
He's having a
23
heck of a
goals,
year.
28 assists. He's been outstanding. And you think about, you look at numbers like that, and 5 or 6 years ago, that's in the Hart Trophy conversation, and right now he's not even a sniff.
In 9 career games against the Chicago
It's 9
Blackhawks,
games,
he has
yeah.
17 points.
9-7. I knew the 6 didn't sound right, but yeah, that's almost 2 points a game. So
I mean, eyeballing it as far as points per game, I think that's the team he kills the most.
of course it is. That shouldn't change tonight because Blackhawks don't play defense very well.
Can I make him my Hoosier former Hawk?
Nope.
Who's your former?
No, you cannot.
All right, fine. Well, let's do
Sheesh.
Hoosier Hawk now, and then we'll hear from Jacob Megna. It's going to take me a while to get that name right. I always
Megna.
want to say Jason. Jason Megna.
Well, that's his
There is a
brother.
Jason
I know.
Megna.
Yeah.
And it's like I want to say the other name.
When they claimed him, I was like, why'd they claim a defenseman? And I was like, did they get Jacob and Jason mixed up? Because Jason's a forward.
Yeah, I wonder if they screwed it up.
I was like, oh no, Kyle.
Exactly. All right, well, here's Hoosier Hawk. I had the first pick, so I'm trying to get back in the swing, and you'll be surprised to know I took Connor Bedard, who should be announced as an All-Star at some point this evening.
You'd think
You would hope so.
if every team,
Unless Mackenzie Entwistle sneaks in.
yeah, that's the least they could do for him. Yeah, I mean,
always been.
if every team, look, if you're voting on All-Stars, and it wasn't every team gets a representative, do you think Connor Bedard would not be one of the first 32 that they name? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Connor Bedard's
He's
going
to
to
be there.
even if every team didn't get a representative.
Right.
He'd still be there. He's
Right.
going to be in the skills competition where they're only taking 12 guys.
Yeah,
There's no doubt he's going to be part of that. He has to be.
You would think.
That's why the Blackhawks are rumored to be getting the Winter Classic as soon as next year.
Yes.
And I know people are already upset about that. The Winter Classic is not for the people who already love hockey. It's to try and get more people to
Yes.
love hockey. And Connor Bedard is your best chance to get more people to love hockey. Deal with it.
Yep. Cry me a river.
Speaking of dealing with it, I took Jason Dickinson second because why the hell not? If Connor Bedard's not scoring a goal on this team, it's usually Jason Dickinson.
Yep.
Second line center, Jason Dickinson. And he's been playing well.
Yeah.
He's been playing well this season.
Why not?
Yeah, and if Luke is saying be more aggressive shooting, I think Dickinson has he's been doing that. He's already got a career high in goals this season, so more of that from him. I went with the new guy. I went with Jacob Megna because why the hell not? New guy bump. He hasn't played an NHL game this season, so
He's fresh.
he's got the freshest legs out there. So, yeah, go get your first point as a Blackhawk.
I got to cover Jacob Megna first season when he was with the Chicago Wolves. Big body, has a little offensive. Like, he's got a pretty good shot. Doesn't use it a lot. Kind of.
He'll fit right in.
Yeah, but he's more of a defensive defenseman. But, you know, he's a guy that
He's last year's Andreas Englund.
pretty much, I think he's probably better than him. But, yeah, he's a guy that is an NHLer because of it's the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
Well,
There's a lot of guys on that roster right now that are only in the NHL because they're with the Blackhawks.
yeah. Why don't we hear from him right now? And in this, I listened to it before the show to see if it was worth playing, and it is. He does describe his game a little bit. So here is new Blackhawk, Jacob Megna.
What was your reaction when you found out?
I'm just really excited. Excited to go somewhere new with a new opportunity and for it to be this team. Pretty special growing up here in Chicago and playing for the hometown team.
You'd been kind of stuck, I guess, in Seattle, not getting to play, and has it been a tough year up to this point?
Yeah, just it's been frustrating and a little bit disappointing, but you know what? That's the business sometimes, and you can only control what you can control, and just showing up every day, trying to get better. And you know what? I know, despite not playing much, I'm a better player now than when I got there, and it's just kind of putting your best foot forward. So I'm excited to be here and to get a new opportunity, and that's all I'm focused on right now.
The chance to get regular playing time, most likely here, was that something you're excited about?
Absolutely. Obviously, you got to earn everything and show that you can play at this level every night. But just excited to have that opportunity, hopefully here, which I didn't really get in Seattle.
Growing up in North,
Did you have a chance to get picked up, or you?
You never know. Waivers is kind of a funny thing. Sometimes guys go unclaimed that you think should, or guys get claimed that you're surprised by. So I think it all just depends on team's needs at the time. And I was just thankful that somebody wanted me, and I'm excited to be here.
growing up in Northbrook, did you ever envision getting a chance to play for the Blackhawks?
No, you know what? It's crazy. I never envisioned really playing in the NHL or even playing pro. And, I got to play for the Chicago Wolves 3 or 4 years ago, which was pretty special. And then to get to play for the Blackhawks now, it's kind of beyond whatever I would have imagined, and I'm just really excited.
What's your family's reaction been?
Everyone's a little bit jealous because they don't live in Chicago anymore. But obviously my brother playing hockey, playing pro, he would obviously have loved the opportunity as well. So he was really excited for me. My sister, my parents, everyone just super excited and excited to see me play again.
How would you describe your game?
I would say I'm more of a stay-at-home defensive defenseman. Just try to kill plays and get pucks up to forwards as quick as possible. And if I can limit the amount of time we spend in our own zone, that's better. And obviously, a lot of what I do is on the penalty kill as well.
Do you go to games growing up?
Yep, we used to go to these games all the time. We went when it was an empty building, and then obviously when Taves and Kane came, it started to fill up quite a bit. And then obviously through the playoff Stanley Cup runs, there was a few parades while I was in high school, so it was pretty cool to experience, and now getting to play here is pretty crazy.
Was there particular?
Yeah, so I know Donnie. I feel like I followed Donnie around a little bit from San Jose to Seattle to here. And then I played with Seth Jones, who's obviously not here right now at World Championships. I'm trying to think if there's I think that's about it, but obviously familiar with some other guys, and a bunch of guys reached out after I got claimed, so it's nice to get acclimated quickly.
Was there any defenseman that you admired, or modeled your game after?
There's a lot of really good players that you try to take things from. Obviously, growing up here, Brent Seabrook was a guy that always seemed to make the right play and be out there all the time, and was a guy that I think everybody kind of looked up to in Chicago as far as being a player. I don't think I could do some of the things that Duncan Keith did, but obviously those two guys were awesome players for the Hawks, and it was a lot of fun to watch every night. Those guys just always seemed to bring it.
You ever get to meet any of those Hawks from that era?
So you know what, I feel like I met some of them in passing, because when I was at Team Illinois, their practice facility was Bensonville. So our locker room was kind of right next door, so we'd see some of them coming in and out. Which was always cool, and being a young kid, you want to stick, you want to puck, you want to just take a picture. So that stuff was always really cool. And then I feel like they bounced around to a bunch of different practice rinks after that. But there was a short period there where we were kind of just the locker room over.
What age were you around that time?
So I played Team Illinois when I was I went to Chicago, Michigan, and Team Illinois. So I played U16s, Team Illinois. I think they were still there, and then I played U18s. I think they were gone. But so I was always playing in Chicago my whole youth career, so it was pretty cool.
That's new Hawks defenseman Jacob Megna. Got it. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
I like that he said he's a stay-at-home defenseman that can move the puck up to the forwards, and they can go retrieve the puck when the other team's got it. Because both those things are very much needed.
Yes.
That sounds good.
Yes.
It sounds like a guy that they have a lot of, but he's the newest one.
Pass the puck to your forwards as opposed to the pass to nobody. That's an upgrade if that actually
It's true.
happens.
Yeah, pass
I'm
it
great
to,
at passing
pass it
to
to
no
a
one.
teammate rather than no
We've
one.
got too many of the guys that pass to nobody, so passing to an actual guy that's wearing the same uniform you are, major upgrade.
Yeah. I like to throw the puck into zones where I don't know who's there. Yes. Sign that man.
Yeah.
Lifetime contract.
And it's cool that he's got the connection to Chicago, having played here as a youth and being a fan of the Blackhawks growing up. It's cool. It's always cool to have that as a pro athlete, I'm sure.
Makes me feel old as shit when he's like, yeah, when I was a kid, I met Brent Seabrook.
Yeah, well.
And when you were an adult, you met him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, what was it? When they were asking, when Vancouver was here, and they were asking Bedard about the Canucks Blackhawks rivalry, and he's like, "Yeah, you remember watching that?" And it's just like, I was 3.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh my god,
They played
you don't
after
remember
my
anything when
bedtime.
you were 3.
No. It's
Time moves on.
every day there's I just saw that Notre Dame signed Brian Urlacher's son.
Really?
Kennedy Urlacher is
Wow.
hey, move Urlacher to safety. His son's a safety at Notre Dame.
And then
now.
Devin Hester's son signed with
Yeah.
college as well.
Yeah.
Reason number 9,805 to hate Notre Dame. Son of a pudwhack.
Yeah.
Long
My
tradition.
favorite Jimmy Buffett song.
Son
of a pudwhack?
Son of a pudwhack,
Yeah,
sorry.
son of a pudwhack. I don't know if Urlacher's dad was a pudwhack. Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe. We know the
It's
brother.
it's usually hereditary.
Runs
it's
in the
usually
family.
hereditary.
All right.
It's usually a skill that is learned, not inherited.
Exactly. All right. Do we have any hope in this one?
No.
We said the same thing last game.
0.
It doesn't feel like it.
But if you have no hope, you can never be disappointed.
That's true.
It's true, and you'll be pleasantly surprised if something happens.
You're right. I mean, as much as I would love the Blackhawks to embarrass the Rangers on their home ice, I just don't see it coming. I don't see a way that it happens unless, like, Jacob Trouba starts elbowing his own guys in the head.
Well, that's a concern for me. I don't want that guy anywhere near Connor Bedard.
If you have this Rangers team coming off a bad loss, looking for a response, and you get Jacob Trouba out there, like, the thing he's going to do is try and put an elbow in someone's temple, and then all the Rangers fans can say it hit him in the chest. Your eyes checked. So yeah, I really hope no one comes out of this game hurt, and I'm hoping for a spirited go get 'em effort and make it interesting, make it entertaining.
That's my main goal for the Blackhawks tonight, is to score more goals and lose players to injury.
Wow.
Sure.
You didn't do that last game.
Is that on Circa Sports? Can we get that? Can we get those odds on Circa?
In your last 2 games, you're -1 in that category. 2
Yeah,
guys
that's-
hurt and
Not great.
one goal.
Not great.
Yeah, that
So-
used to be the slogan, but now it's
now it's
the outcome.
the average.
Yeah.
Yeah. So more goals than guys injured. That's what I would love to see tonight.
That would be
be
great.
nice.
I mean,
I
are we
don't
at that
think
point?
that's too much to ask for.
It sucks we're at that point right now where it's like, just don't get hurt. Just please.
Yeah.
But I wrote about it today for my Blackhawks beat. And by the way, the rebuild report's out too. Every Wednesday, rebuild report. Every Thursday-ish, I do the Blackhawks beat. Those are both out today. But I kind of wrote about, like, the dilemma that Kyle Davidson's in is, like, all these guys that are hurt are coming back. Do you
Eventually,
go
yeah.
out and address and try to get a little bit of help for Bedard? Because that's the thing. When we saw Megna yesterday, we're like, why would he get a defenseman?
Right.
I mean, it makes sense. You got Louis Crevier playing.
There were
who's not
no
in the
there
NHL
were no
ready.
forwards on waivers. Duh.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there have been opportunities in the last week or so.
Well, getting
to
the
grab a forward here or there.
Megna here tells me that when the team gets back to Chicago, Crevier is going back to Rockford.
Yeah, you would think so.
And then when Seth Jones is back, God, I can't wait for that to happen.
Seriously.
Isaac Phillips is going
Yeah,
back to Rockford.
what it sounds like.
They want to get their young
Feels
guys more time in Rockford. That's
What's
the biggest
needed?
reason.
I mean, look, like,
And Rockford needs it too.
Yes, and Phillips has overall been decent, but his last couple outings have been rough.
It's been rough. Mm-hmm.
So it's time for a reset back in Rockford, and Rockford needs, because every time they're taking someone away from Rockford, Rockford's then like literally going to like community rinks going, hey, you want to play in the AHL tomorrow? Like
there's a number of ECHL guys playing in Rockford now just because of all these injuries.
Lot of them. Yes. Yeah. I mean, they literally are scrap heaps. Jackson Cates is
Jackson
one of the guys.
He's Noah Cates' brother.
Yes, and he was officially signed to an AHL contract after a PTO or an ATO, whatever you want to call it down there. But yeah, it's probably her grandson.
Just in the point about Phillips too, like all these young guys have had to elevate their roles. Before Seth Jones got hurt on the last game he played was December 10th. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at Isaac Phillips' ice time. Started off like 14 minutes, then 16, 17, 18. Then Seth Jones gets hurt. 21, 21, 21, 22, 21, 20, 21. Like he's been playing a ton.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as much as we all like Isaac Phillips and thought overall he's done well this year, he's definitely been struggling in the elevated role. Over his last 3 games, he's a -9.
It's not good. And
right,
part of that is he was unfortunately Jared Tenorti's partner on that awful game.
He was a -5 in that Soderblom game, wasn't he?
Or was it the
-5?
It was -5, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
against Dallas.
That's rough.
Not good.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest.
It's good in golf, but not in hockey.
I'm not the biggest plus-minus guy, but when one of your defensemen is a -5 in one game, that's not a good look.
Yeah.
And I'm a big Isaac Phillip fan. I hope there's a long-term future for him here, but some time back in Rockford is probably a good idea, and they need those guys down there too. Yeah.
And then when he's able to come back, or if he does come back, you'd say, okay, now you're a third pairing, 14-minute a night guy.
That's what he should
and
be.
We can cherry pick your matchups better. That's much more ideal.
Yeah, if he was, if everyone was healthy, I would love him to have been up in the NHL this year doing that all season. Because I am liking, I like the idea of if this team's gonna be bad, let the young guys be bad and learn for a bit. But I think Kyle Davidson clearly is saying we're gonna let them learn in the minors for much longer than they need to learn lessons in the NHL before they're ready to. So that's why Phillips will eventually get sent back down and play top. Those numbers he's been having for 21, 22 minutes. He'll have that in Rockford against more equal competition. Yeah. It'll be better for him.
Be him and Wyatt Kaiser probably on a pairing, and
Allen and Del Mastro and Crevier will be back down. It'll be better for Rockford,
no doubt. All right, we're going to wrap up the show. We're back as soon as the game ends, so make sure you're here with us. Hey, do us a favor on your way out there and smash that like button for us. I see we have over, 120-some people watching and only 44 likes, so please, before you hit that X button on the top there, hit that like button for us and make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube page as well. We'll talk to you as soon as the game ends. We want to remind you one last time, we're powered by ComEd. It's getting easier for your business to switch to electric vehicles. Learn more at comed.com/clean. We'll talk to you after Hawks and Rangers on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.